take. I want to bring in General Barry McCaffrey. General, so much to ask you about because there's this talk back and forth depending on what, I guess, political party each member of Congress is, where they talk about what is and what is not classified information, what is dangerous information that has been shared, and what is not dangerous information that has been shared. In general, I just want to, you with this vast experience that you have, let me just go into that one bit of the chat, which is under Pete Hegseth's line when he says, team update, time now, 11:45 Eastern, weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM that we are go for mission launch. And then 12:15, F-18s launch. 1:45, trigger-based F-18 first strike window starts. Target terrorist is at his known location, so should be on time. Also, strike drones launch. These are the MQ-9s. At 14:10, more F-18s launch. Second strike package. 14:15, strike drones on target. This is when the first bombs will definitely drop, pending earlier trigger-based targets. There's a little bit more of the information launch about what has been carried out, what is being carried out. General, just reading it as is this information that would be classified?
Jose, this is almost childish fifth grade behavior. Pending military operations are clearly classified. You give the target 2 hours notice, they can man their weapon systems. The high-value targets can disperse. They can take countermeasures, attempt to against the carrier itself. Obviously, it's classified information. It was a major breach in protocol. The larger issue, by far, is that they were using a commercially encrypted app instead of the billion-dollar system for protecting information. If this had been Navy lieutenant commander talking to an Air Force major, they've both been fired and probably court-martialed. It's a shameful breach for security. What they need to be doing now is go back. They've obviously been using this for sensitive discussions and figure out what else has been breached to adversary nations, to include now European Union members who don't trust what we're up to in NATO. This is outrageous incompetence on the part of the most senior officers in government.
And so, General, a few of the questions on what you just said. First of all, it seems as though, at least in the text here, there was no previous to the incident, the F-18s launching and the MQ-9s launching. There is, it seems, nothing preliminarily. In other words, there's nothing, we're going to be doing this in X time. But why is it that you say that Signal is already a dangerous app to be using vis-a-vis the authorized and created, systems that the United States government has in place?
Well, look, we spent a lot of money and a lot of creativity and continually update these systems. We have these multi-million-dollar SCIFs, a secure room that can't be penetrated electronically. We have travel packages for senior officials in government. We go to great lengths to protect classified information. The most sensitive being pending military operations. And we should also assume that if you're not in that government system, if you're on commercial encryption, that many foreign intelligence agencies have probably penetrated it. They shouldn't have asked the NSA director, the four-star general, during the hearing, have you penetrated Signal as an app to listen to foreign adversaries who may be using it? But I would bet you they have. There's nothing that can't be broken eventually. But we spend a lot of money to keep these kind of conversations in U.S. government comm systems. This was an egregious breach of security that put Navy combat flyers at risk.
Hagar, you've worked with the National Security Council during your time in the White House. Was Signal a system that you saw being utilized at any time, number one? And number two, what do you see and when you see this back and forth using Signal?
So no, and no way. And it just shows it's blatant disregard for these security rules and why they exist. It just shows a level of lazy and incompetence that is hard to comprehend. There's a reason why we used to have security trainings over and over again, and why we were told repeatedly that we should assume all of our unclassified systems, our emails, our phones, we should have assumed that they were penetrated by foreign actors, because foreign actors were repeatedly trying to go after them. This is what we knew. This is fact. This is something that's very well known. It's shocking to see, but there's another part, and I want to make sure I explain this, because Tulsi Gabbard is going out there saying that, oh, there's no classified material on this. And she's trying to make a distinction between pieces of classified intelligence, analysis, maybe raw intelligence that is given to senior leadership versus deliberations. There is no daylight between those two. Sure, it's different kinds of classified information, but deliberations are automatically confidential. They might be at different levels of classification, but automatically, to me, not only is this a complete obvious security violation and they're endangering their own plans and their own troops, but it's also a PR disaster. They should come out instead of doubling down and saying, you know what, we messed up, we made a mistake, it won't happen again, and these are the consequences. We're gonna make sure we don't do it again. But no, we certainly never did anything like this. I was called to the White House in the middle of the night sometimes because you couldn't have conversations like this on an open line of any kind, anything connected to the internet or anything that could be penetrated in a certain room.